It is another wonderful day in this beautiful neighborhood of freestyle skateboarding that we have here. Welcome back to Fake Trick News, the first source and the most reliable and truth-telling and accurate, 100% accurate source of freestyle skateboarding content and news. I'm Mike Osterman, and every now and then we make one of these videos to hopefully update you on what's going on in the freestyle community. And today is no different from any other day every other week where we're going to talk about freestyle skateboarding. So let's just jump into it, folks. Yeah, what an intro this was. So just to jump right into it, we're going to talk about Denham Hill. I think Denham, what Denham's making and the approach he's taking to everything he does is really rad. One of those things being his skating. The next thing being Terra Firma. So Terra Firma is something that I wanted to talk about on this channel for a really long time, but I'm actually going to leave it to Denham to sort of explain exactly what he does. Take it away, buddy.
Hey up all, Den Weasel. As you can see, recently I've been doing quite a lot of this. Of course, Terra Firma is a freestyle skateboarding venture, and I've been working on getting some clothing done for a little while. Quite proud to announce we now have Terra Firma shirts. Part of the profit from every single shirt sold, I'll donate into a separate pot, which will be pulled together and will be used to fund freestyle projects around the world, hopefully. First of all, means you gotta buy one, alright?
Osterman putting out these really great flash sheets, tattoo sheets of freestyle stuff, memorabilia, just kind of nostalgia and things that relate to this stuff we do. You guys know I'm big on tattoos, and you know getting a solid shin guard like right here, it's gonna be hot. And moving on, we have a lot that came out in the last week or two since I made another episode of this. One of which is Sturbu, Alexandru's part. He had a new video part come out. He's one of the Romanian powerhouses, skating a flat ground freestyle single kick deck. I mean, a single kick deck is hard to skate. I was doing it for so long, and it makes me super happy to see somebody killing it on that board. Now, Sturbu hasn't been skating for a super long time, and from what I hear from our buddy Marius in Romania, he started on a penny board. So yeah, I mean, freestyle full video parts always get me hyped. It's really rare to see nowadays, and when people put it out and put time and effort into it, hyped. Keep doing it. Super stoked on this part. If you haven't watched it yet, go to the description, click on the link, watch the full thing. It will only take you like 2 minutes of your time. Enough of this like weird YouTube stuff. On to what really matters. Instagram rules. Because it does. It still does. First one out the gate is Death to False Metal, who we talked about very briefly in the previous episode, but we think that Death deserves a little bit more credit for what he's doing. Look at that footwork. I mean, the combination of somebody who's putting time into footwork, and then also that weird switch foot from Pogo wraparound thing. I mean, I've done like turkey wraps that way, but there was like a lot going on that I wasn't ready for. To see people putting effort and learning new stuff and flowing with their footwork is tight. Keep doing that, please. And speaking of creativity and footwork, curb skating. This gave me some ideas. Coping Victim exhibited a nice little rail flip 180 or 90 degree rail flip to tail stall on a curb. Coping Victim, thank you for the inspiration. Thank you for the submission. On to the next one. Has anybody seen the photo of Josh doing his final trick from the World Roundup? He's like the Blur Cat of freestyle skateboarding. Remember Blur Cat? Is that still like relevant? I remember when Josh came on the scene, he was basically like a Killian Martin clone, and then Josh has come into his own and made his own style out of what he does, and it makes me so happy. He's also like the nicest dude. So seeing him just doing the most like creative, weird flip outs out of tricks and upside down tricks that I don't think anyone does quite like him. There's a great smile behind this makeup caked, you know, production face that I have to put on in order to make myself viewable to the public. But yeah, just so you know, if I wasn't dead inside and also covered in makeup, I'd be grinning like a pig in coffee. I'm trying to stay real PG for this episode. I'm trying not to curse as much because, you know, kids. And Anthony Sim, another UK freestyler alongside Denham Hill and Tony Gale, another person who has been putting time into footwork, and I think is part of this category of freestylers who cares a lot about flowing and doing like the dancey stuff as opposed to just trick, which I totally respect both sides, but it's cool to see the variety in the community, sort of subcategories of freestyle. No, I'm saying. Anthony, hate your board, love your skating. Just saying that. That's all I'm gonna say. And to wrap it all up, there was this post made by our friend Terry Sinat. He actually owns Mode Skateboards. He posted this video clip of one of my favorite freestylers who just dropped off the face of the earth, Fabian Kravitz. Fabian was a freestyler in like the late 80s, early 90s. He was in the final wave of like the 80s freestyle amateurs. And I don't think he ever really had a chance in a pro career. I don't know a whole lot about the guy or about really that era of freestyle, but what I do know is that Fabian was skating super fast. He was zooming around these contests and doing tricks like body varial, 360 varial, I don't know what that is, and like fakey double finger flip 180s. Bottom line, like Fabian was doing different stuff. And to see new footage coming out from contests is rad. I hope wherever Terry got this footage from, he can find more. I know in the past we talked about the Japanese Freestyle Championship. Well, it turns out it's the World Championship, and Toshiaki Fuji actually posted all of the details recently about this event. Everybody that's going to this contest is pushing to get footage out and get themselves ready for this contest, and one of those people is Yuta Fuji. Admittedly, one of my favorite freestylers right now. I'm always blown away by how he's able to link super difficult combinations together for video clips and for contest runs. And then I look at his Instagram feed and I'm like, wait, he's 12 years old? I've been skating for 12 years. There's no way he's only that. Dan Garb, he showed off this nice little clip of him doing double finger flips, I'm sure in preparation for this event. And these camo pants are getting out of hand. I support it. And if I wasn't already sweating about this contest and about the people that are gonna be skating in it, Tony Gale, my arch nemesis and my favorite person to skateboard with. Tony came out with this Japanese contest prep video, which I'm pretty sure was meant to just intimidate everybody that's going to this contest. And he's doing ollie flip tricks now, which is not like him at all. He's basically skating like me, which makes me happy. The fact that this guy can Casper the way he does and flip Caspers the way he does makes me think he's got an extra joint in his ankle that allows him to scoop his foot under the board. I wouldn't be surprised at it. He's a weird dude. Figure out what the hell his secret is. Maybe put him on the Waltz team. I don't know. I think you could use a sponsor. So let me know in the comments below if you think we should put Tony Gale on the Waltz team. All right, and this brings me to my final point in this episode. What I really am stoked about in the last kind of 2 weeks of freestyle is this realization that I and a lot of my friends who I think started this second wave or this sort of like next wave of freestyle are kind of getting into like retirement age. Most street skateboarders make it to like 25, 26, 27 and they're done. Your knees can't take it, your back's messed up. You're not going out and filming every day like people generally do when they're at their peak of pro skateboarding. Freestyle is a lot different than that though. And there's no better example of that than Bert Matheson. Bert is a doctor, which is a helpful thing. I'm pretty sure they actually forced him not to skate in the Legends division last year because he was just too good. And at 56, Bert is more progressive in his handstand tricks and his footwork, I think, than a lot of people in my age group and below. I mean progressive in terms of like the strength it takes to put these tricks together, the consistent improvement in his style and his work towards like new variations in tricks. All across the board, he's pushing himself. And that's what I think a lot of people in my age group are now striving for, this longevity in the sport and this ability to continue to skate, but to skate inventively and with more difficult tricks. And Bert's not the only one. He's not just this blip, this outlier among older freestylers. Guys like Tommy Harward, who was my first favorite freestyler and the first pro that I ever met in freestyle. Chris Clark, who I like hesitate to put in that category, came out with a clip last week on Facebook of him doing his tail stop 360 underflips and the rail impossible, a trick that he invented. You've got Witter Chen, who unfortunately is coming back from an ankle injury, but he's constantly skating, promoting Decomposed. And I hope he can push past his ankle thing because he was a guy who was inspiring me to skate when I was Yuta's age and when I knew nothing about freestyle. So to see guys that are kind of holding this torch and championing the sport is rad. Russ Howell just turned 69, and for his 69th birthday, he did a 100-yard handstand.
100 yards upside down.
Yeah. All I know is if I turn 69 and I'm still skateboarding at any level, I doubt it will be at Russ's level, I'm going to be happy. It's an inspiration. It's something that I think a lot of us can strive for, and it gives a lot of hope to people who are in my age group and see a future on our skateboards. Try not to get too mushy here, because this is a lighthearted thing. We're on YouTube. Supposed to not get too crazy. I'm trying really hard not to cry. I appreciate it if you just give me a moment. So that about wraps it up for the day. I also want to talk about our Waltz boards. They're almost sold out. So if you haven't picked up the Pilot or the Fuel, they're going to be gone forever after this run. So if you haven't, you want to pick them up, now's the time. You can pick up those skid plates, pick up our Space Force tees and Waltz logo hats. These suckers right here. And if you don't, then they're going to be gone forever. Keep dancing, keep doing your thing, keep just, being weird, skating, no matter how old you are. And I don't know. Here's what you really want to see: a cat with a microphone.